Hello and welcome back to Newsom News. I'm Jade, your host. Tonight we're on episode 57. It is Wednesday, March 4th, 2026. We're starting at 11:40 p.m. Pacific time, as always. Update. On Friday, I received a response to the email I sent to the Department of War program managers. Last week in episode 50 and 51, we read the Department of War notice of funding, and I requested that the program managers add the Pacific Seahorse to their priority of endangered species list. On the side screen here, you can see the response. I'm going to pan over to the notice of funding to jog our memories. Close this out. This is the notice of funding. It is titled Department of War's Energy Installations and Environment Innovation Partners Programs, Notice of Funding Opportunity. This is the NFO number. I'll show you where I requested the update. The update is for pages 28 and 29, Appendix 1, Department of War Mission Priority Species. If you go to my playlist, this is episode 50 and 51. You can't miss the video with the seahorses in the background, so check those out as well. I'll link them in the description below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay. First, we're going to read my email, and then we're going to work our way to the response. My email was sent last Wednesday, February 25th, 2026. I sent it to the grants specialist, Diane Clark, and the list of program managers. The lead is J. Kevin Ears. That's his phone number and his email address. My email reads, I would like to request a program policy update to the Department of War's Notice of Funding Opportunity, Department of War's Energy Installations and Environment Innovation Partners Program, NFO number, assistance listing number, date issued January 2026. On behalf of the state of California and the county of San Diego, please add the Pacific Seahorse to the Department of War Mission Priority Species. Pacific seahorses are currently listed as vulnerable to extinction by the IUCN Red List. Pacific seahorses are native to Coronado. They are considered vulnerable due to habitat loss, pollution, and overfishing. Naval Base Coronado has a severe negative impact on this species as well as others. I would like to request the Department of War prioritize the Pacific Seahorse to preserve the San Diego Bay and enforce species regulatory requirements, including but not limited to the Marine Mammal Protection Act of 1972. Requested updates, page 28, Appendix 1, Department of War Mission Priority Species, add Pacific Seahorse, V for vulnerable, Hippocampus ingens. Page 29, key, add, V, vulnerable. I appreciate your consideration of my request. The Pacific Seahorse symbolizes creativity, serenity, and good luck. I pray that together we can create a space that is safe and warm for our native species to survive. And then I attached the notice of funding to refer to. On Friday, I received a response from the lead program manager, Kevin Heers, and it's the Resource Conservation and Resilience Program, Natural Hazards Adaptation Program, Office of the Duty Assistant Secretary of War for Energy, Resilience, and Optimization, Office of the Assistant Secretary of War for Energy, Installations, and Environment, email, office phone, cell phone. It reads, Dear Jade, thank you for your note. Mission priority species are typically identified and agreed upon by the Department of War and USFWS through the RASP initiative. And there's a link. There are a number of factors that go into those selections, like impacts or risks to mission, costs, needs for regulatory relief, opportunities for collaboration, etc. I have passed along your suggestion to the Department of War RASP coordinator, who will bring it forward to the coordinating committee. Ultimately, it would be a decision between the Department of War and USFWS that won't affect this year's notice of funding opportunity, but I wanted to let you know that we did initiate the process for considering the Pacific Seahorse in the future. Respectfully, Kevin. That is awesome! Awesome. Cheers, y'all. That's great. What a win. They are on the table and under consideration. That is amazing. That is amazing. Now let's check out that link Kevin sent us. This is on the U.S. Department of War website. The page is titled Department of Defense and Department of the Interior Renew Partnership for Conserving Wildlife and Supporting Military Readiness. Published May 15th, 2024. Leaders from the Department of Defense and the Department of the Interior met at the Pentagon on Monday to celebrate the renewal of the Recovery and Sustainment Partnership, RASP, following the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding earlier this year designed to advance the recovery of threatened and endangered species while also supporting national security. The Department of Defense has long understood that protecting military lands and the species that reside there supports military readiness training. Through our renewed partnership with the Department of the Interior, we have confirmed our mutual commitment to proactive, innovative, and collaborative approaches to protect imperiled species while increasing flexibility for military activities, said Brenda Owens, Assistant Secretary of Defense for Energy, Installations, and Environment. We look forward to our continued collaboration and the positive outcomes we can achieve together for national defense and species. This long-standing partnership between the Departments of the Interior and Defense demonstrates how collaboration can achieve real-world successes for both military readiness and species conservation, said Shannon Espinoz, Assistant Secretary for Fish and Wildlife and Parks. Under this agreement, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service works collaboratively with our military partners to develop innovative conservation plans to conserve at-risk species and achieve recovery goals and objectives for listed species while also supporting national security. The Department of Defense manages nearly 27 million acres of lands, waters, and airspace that provide critical and realistic environments and conditions to develop and test new technologies and platforms, train service members, and maintain the highest levels of military readiness. The Department of Defense recognizes these lands and waters represent some of the most unique and rare ecosystems and habitats in the world and contain tremendous biodiversity. By sustaining and restoring federally listed at-risk species, the Department of Defense helps advance species conservation and recovery and prevents the need to list additional species under the Endangered Species Act, ESA, enabling the DoD to carry out its national defense mission without encumbrances. Created in 2018, the RASP has advanced the conservation and recovery of species listed under the ESA through developing and implementing species action plans, collaborative conservation initiatives, and innovative policy solutions, making collaboration under the ESA more effective. By utilizing ecosystem management approaches that benefit multiple species and establishing long-term conservation commitments, the DoD and the service create more flexibility for military installations to fulfill their missions, satisfy ESA requirements, and improve conservation outcomes. Participants of today's gathering reviewed the accomplishments of the RASP and celebrated how recovery efforts have increased in number and effectiveness while providing regulatory relief for military readiness. In this spirit, the parties support the continued partnership and collaboration to build on and broaden the numerous successes and innovations achieved to date in enhancing species conservation and recovery while sustaining military readiness. Link to DoD Recovery and Sustainment Partnership Initiative. That's amazing. That is amazing. If the Pacific seahorses are added to the list, that says a lot. We are a coastal community. The Coronado Naval Base is right there. There is a lot we can do with that land, with that coastline. So that is an achievement, a win for all. I'm excited. I will keep you posted. Let's open up the Memorandum of Understanding just to give page not found. Okay. And what about the initiative at the bottom? Page not found. Okay. But still, that is awesome. I can ask Kevin for a copy. Let's see. Again, this is the Notice of Funding Opportunity and my YouTube videos. Okay, so that was 14 minutes in. For part 2 of this episode, I figured I would read an article on Governor Newsom's website. This was published yesterday, March 3rd. It is titled Governor Newsom, First Partner Sibel Newsom, Announce New Inductees to the California Hall of Fame. What you need to know. Governor Gavin Newsom and First Partner Jennifer Sibel Newsom today announced the 19th class of the California Hall of Fame, which includes leaders and luminaries in athletics, civil rights, culinary arts, and entertainment. This has been on my bucket list for a while now. I've been meaning to get to the California Museum. This is what it looks like from the outside. It's beautiful. It is in Sacramento. Okay, let's read more. Okay, article coming at us from Sacramento. Governor Gavin Newsom and first partner Jennifer Sibel Newsom and the California Museum today announced the 19th class of the California Hall of Fame, celebrating trailblazers whose achievements embody California's spirit of resilience and creativity. This class also shines a spotlight on Los Angeles as a global hub of culture and innovation. The inductees will be formally enshrined during a ceremony at the California Museum in Sacramento on March 19, 2026, celebrating their contributions to civic life, creativity, and social progress. That's wonderful. Creativity is one of the adjectives I used for the Seahorse. I love this. Okay. California Hall of Fame 19th class inductees. First up, John L. Burton, a lifelong public servant and legislator whose fierce advocacy for civil rights, healthcare, and foster youth has left a lasting mark on our state. Second, Jamie Lee Curtis, one of Hollywood's most enduring stars with a 5-decade career and an Academy Award-winning performance in Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. A passionate humanitarian, Emmy and Golden Globe winner, and best-selling children's book author, she continues to inspire audiences worldwide. Rain Eisler, a pioneering systems scientist, cultural historian, and author of the international bestseller The Chalice and the Blade, which is published in 27 languages. She has advanced a groundbreaking vision of human rights and caring, sustainable societies that has influenced leaders and movements worldwide. Janet Evans, one of the greatest distance swimmers of all time and the first American woman to win 4 individual Olympic gold medals in swimming. Today, she serves as Chief Athlete Officer for the 2028 Los Angeles Olympic Games. Carl Lewis, widely regarded as the greatest American track and field athlete with unmatched speed, power, and versatility. He dominated the sprinting and long jump events in the 1980s and 90s, amassing 9 gold medals across 4 Olympic Games. Mariachi, Reina de los Angeles, America's first all-women mariachi ensemble, which has transformed the sound, look, and cultural imagination of the musical tradition. Dazzling international audiences for over 3 decades, the vibrant group has become a defining force in the historically male-dominated genre. Nobuyuki Matsuisha, the highly influential chef, known simply as Nobu, whose Nobu and Machiisha restaurants have changed the way the world eats. His restaurants span 5 continents with 40 locations worldwide. Terry McMillan, an acclaimed author who wrote Waiting to Exhale, How Stella Got Her Groove Back, and other bestsellers. Her powerful storytelling has elevated women's voices, centered Black experiences, and reshaped American literature. Arnold Schwarzenegger, a singular figure in California history embodying the Golden State's promise of opportunity. From humble beginnings, he built himself into a world champion bodybuilder, Hollywood icon, successful businessman, environmentalist, philanthropist, best-selling author, and the 38th governor of California. Here's a quote. From the state capital to Los Angeles, from best-selling books to Olympic triumphs, the inductees of the 19th class of the California Hall of Fame have reshaped our culture and our communities. Resilient and innovative, these leaders and luminaries represent the best of the California spirit. That quote is by Governor Gavin Newsom. Another quote. This year's class embodies the very best of California, creativity, resilience, and a spirit of community. These honorees remind us that innovation and courage flourish when people are lifted up by those around them. With deep ties to Los Angeles, a city whose influence and imagination continue to shape culture worldwide, their stories can not only celebrate individual achievement, but also reflect California's power to inspire, to open doors, and to reimagine what is possible for generations to come. And that quote is by first partner Jennifer Seabell Newsom. The California Museum is honored to serve as home to the California Hall of Fame, where we celebrate the extraordinary contributions of Californians to our state and the world, said Anne Marie Petrie, chair of the California Museum Board of Trustees. The 19th class embodies the spirit of creativity that continues to shape California's legacy and inspire future generations. About the California Hall of Fame. Launched in 2006, the California Hall of Fame recognizes history-making Californians who embody the state's spirit of innovation and have changed the state, the nation, and the world. Inductees are selected annually by the governor and first partner for achievements across arts, business, entertainment, food and wine, literature, music, public service, science, and sports. For details on the California Hall of Fame or to download media assets, visit californiamuseum.org/press-room/ca-hall-of-fame. Better yet, let me open it for you. Congratulations to the inductees. That is a world-renowned achievement. Congratulations on your success, and to many more. This is a zip folder. We'll go straight to their website. This is it here. Let's watch the video together. That's awesome. Latest inductees. This is great. Give the video a thumbs up if you'll be going to the museum. This is the address. 1020 O Street, Sacramento, California, 95814. There's their phone number, email address, social media. The museum is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday from noon to 5 p.m. You can join their email list. This is great. I am excited for their success. So that sums up today's episode. I will see you all again tomorrow. Have a great night. Take care.